as you can see, Soccer knows he's far behind. He knows he forgot his Hunter's Hall, and so he's actually going for a very stalling technique. He has three slowing things in his army. He has the Naga, he has the Dryad, and he has the Mod Golem, which is going to mean that it's going to be hard for anyone to try and engage him. As you can see, actually, Winter's trying to bring his Demon Hunter in, but is immediately slowed by the Mud Golem, and just runs back. Basically, he knows that this isn't something he wants to be fighting. As you can see, both heroes have picked up Orbs of Venom now as well. These are very important, just for a number of reasons, really. Obviously, Orb of Venom is always a good item to have, but also in Elf Mirror we often see the use of either Zeppelins or what are they, Fairy Dragons, and the ability to attack air with your sort of primary damage unit is very useful. And Winner is actually trooping a very small camp here, considering he has 4 Master Bears and 2 heroes, but I guess it means that the Creep Jack is much less effective when it comes. And Soccer actually with a inferior army, I would say here, does manage to force the TP from Winners, whose Naga was getting low, and actually staffs back his Mud Golem as well, which I'm not sure was necessary, but it's just useful to keep this unit safe, because it's one of the few units that has more mana than health, only 240 health, and so it's really important to keep that alive. And generally, it's just best just to keep it at the back of your army. Since it's magic immune, it can't be mana burnt or hit by frost arrows. So you can generally just keep it there and then just slow a bear occasionally. That's often quite good, and it does give you a large advantage over time. And Claws +9. Now, it looks like Soccer's Demon Hunter's gonna be doing quite a bit of damage. He already has a Claws +6 and an Orb of Venom, and then 2 more damage from Circlet. And so we're going to be seeing some quite high DPS heroes from Soccer here. And as you can see, Winters has gone from more bears and fewer archers. He only went for that one archer in the beginning, and that's given him the resources to build more bears now. And he does have 6 bears here as well as a Dryad, and this is not really a fight that Soccer wants to be taking. I imagine he'll be either forced back or will be forced to TP. He does have a TP on him, but as you can see, there's a TP there. And on Soccer's Demon Hunter, +32 damage. That's very nice. That is with Roar, of course, but Claws +9, Claws +6, Orb, and Circlet all add up. And then all that extra damage, maximum of 82, does then have the Gloves of Haste, which is now sort of starting to prove its worth. And as you can see, this is the creeping I was talking about. Soccer should be careful here not to take too much damage on this bear, but I think he'll get it out in time. And it is really easy to creep with bears, because any damage that you do take, you can just rejuvenate away, and bears do so much damage that it's really, really important to get some very efficient creeping in. And another really important aspect of a mirror match such as this, especially bear mirror match, is the upgrades. We can see 0-0 for Winners, and actually 1-0 for Soccer. And these do play an important role, especially in the late game, especially when we're at both 50 food and then 80 food. It often comes down to who has the better upgrades, because heroes are fairly similar, items are fairly similar, unit count is identical generally, and it just comes down to my bears are 2-1 and your bears are 1-0 or something, and it does make a very large difference, especially since all that the damage is accentuated by things like Roar, which obviously add an extra 25% damage. And Soccer has now actually picked up Boots of Quaffalast to go with the rest of his items, which is giving him a huge damage at the moment. His maximum damage on his Demon Hunter is 80, which is just so much. And you can see just his Demon Hunter attacking this one Moonwell, while not very efficient, is doing a lot of damage. He does actually move his Demon Hunter back to the other one, and I imagine he won't pick this fight because he's right in the base. And this is very bad for Soccer, actually. He's being chased down. The Goblin Zeppelin's taking a bit of damage, and Soccer needs to pick up all his units. Yeah, he gets his last bear. He is going to need to run this away, but and he quickly drops his Naga to try and put some damage onto Winter's Zeppelin, but has to pick them back up, and his Zeppelin's taking more and more damage, and it's really, he needs to get this out of here right now, otherwise he's going to lose a lot of units. I think he does have a TP. It's very unwise. Yes, he does have a TP, but he just keeps on taking damage, and the Zeppelin looks like it might go down, but Soccer staffs the Zeppelin. Oh, and he drops a TP, waits a while to pick it up, and his Demon Hunter's very low, very low. Will the TP act in time? It does, and Soccer gets out with 30 HP on his Demon Hunter. That's so close. It's not going very well for him, but the fact that he managed to get out of that is impressive in itself, and he sends a Wisp to repair the Zeppelin. It never made sense to me how this Wisp can repair this Zeppelin despite the obvious height difference, but it works somehow. And Soccer seems to have forgot a circlet, or is he going back for it? No, he staffs his hero back. That's the most pointless staff in the history of Warcraft 3, just to get that circlet. And as you can see, Winner's using his time a bit better than Soccer. Instead of just sitting around and healing, he's now creeping a bit. And this is Winner's put this Orb of Darkness on the Naga, which I believe will actually cancel out the frost arrows. So I'm not sure whether that's the best choice. He might be better just to sell the orb or put it on the Demon Hunter. Although the Demon Hunter has the Orb of Venom, so I imagine just selling it might be the right choice, because I'd rather have a slowed unit than just an extra skeleton, which can not only be dispelled, but it's actually quite weak anyways. And Lionhorn with Stormwind then, so a bit of extra armor, and that is actually quite useful. As I was saying, it's the equivalent of sort of half an armor upgrade, which are 2 armor, and this provides an extra 1 armor. And as we can see now, a very tense match here. Winner's having a scroll of protection to give him some extra armor. As I said, armor very important, as well as attack. And as you can see, Soccer has 2/2 units, whereas Winner's only has 2/1, and so the scroll of protection actually brought them to even upgrades effectively. And some very low bears here from Soccer. I'm surprised that they haven't been taken out yet, and they're moving in, and yes, there goes one, and I imagine the other one will go down in a second. And a very low Dryad as well, actually, so I'm not looking very good here for Winners. He has to TP out, and he loses his Zeppelin, and will Soccer be able to capitalize? No, he doesn't actually take out any of the bears, but they are now slowed for a while, and I imagine that Winners is just going to stick in his base for a little bit at least while he heals up, and will go to creep, but nothing very risky at this point. He might go down a creep, either this lab here or maybe a gold mine. This might be a good time for Soccer to expand. He's just sort of taken a small advantage. So this is a prime time to sort of say to your opponent, either you fight me now, or my advantage is going to increase. And really, forcing a fight is a very important element of Warcraft 3. And it's very important to know when and when not to try and force a fight, and how to do that effectively without compromising your own position. And as you can see, this Demon Hunter is just doing crazy damage, and Soccer knows he has a bit of an advantage now, going for some very hard creeping. This is sort of one of the best camps that isn't an island camp left, and I think he probably will get a fairly decent item from this. Yeah, Gem of Health, plus 300 health. That's going to be good on either hero. He does actually have a full capacity on his Demon Hunter, so I imagine he'll pass it off, because oh no, he takes it on his Naga. That's unusual. I'd imagine that he'd put it on his Demon Hunter, because obviously it's more of the tank, but apparently not. And Soccer in a lot of trouble here, staffs out one bear, and now manages to get his Naga into the Zeppelin, and manages just to get away, and Winners has not rebought his Zeppelin, and so is unable to know where that one's going. And Soccer having a Wisp here, just detonating. You'll probably notice how many detonates there's actually been during this game. Since a Bear Dryad army is consisting entirely of units with mana, getting detonates off early is actually very effective.